So Fuji's like your drunk uncle who's late for his book report, and you know he ain't bringing much to the table because he didn't get much sleep last night. So he stumbled into the class to give his presentation, and we all fell asleep. That's what Fuji does. Today I will be unreasonably harsh on Fuji for not releasing vlogging gear this winter, miss.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we're on the Fuji X-E4 with the Per Gear 7.5mm fish lens. Because Fuji, you suck at wide angle lenses and you didn't remedy that. That should be your focus, but it's not for some reason. Because vloggers don't count. We're not people. We don't bleed. I'm gonna switch lenses every time I talk about a new boring ass product they released today. So that should be fun. We're at 24 because it's so sharp and there's a lot of tone back there. Don't pretend you know what's in my house. You don't. The X-E4. I don't know why people have so many budget models. The smartphone is the budget model. You gotta go beyond that with the Pro model. Like, oh, come up to a Pro camera. Try it, it's better than your smartphone. But most of their entry levels are like on the same level, but bigger and dumber. Obviously, my only focus is can it be used to film YouTube videos? So none of this gear is very good, so keep that in mind. But I'll give you photographers a bone. I know you photographers chew bones at night because you can't sleep. With your restless leg, you're a dog. Hey kitty, what are you doing? The Fuji X-E4, I believe, is their smallest camera with interchangeable lenses, so that's cool. But it has no grip. How comfortable is that going to be? That's like an RX100. I'm sure you can buy a third-party piece of wood, killing our earth. I like wood. Leave our trees alone, dickhead. But where does this fit in the lineup? You got the XA7 and XT200, which are almost the same. I think just one has a viewfinder, one doesn't. The X Pro 3, higher end, but still like, it's not even close to entry level. That's like their highest end. It's more expensive than this. The X100V, I think that's a fixed lens, but it's still tiny, same shit. If you get the 127mm, we'll get to you. The last lens on earth they should have focused on. The XS10, they have so many different. Stop confusing us. Make something good, and I won't buy it. Can you see my cat doing terrible things? Are you being seen? If only you could see everything in my house, you'd be able to know the pain. So this X-E4, it could have been good vlogging. You got the flip up screen, it's tiny and light. X-T4 type sensor, same specs, 240p, slow-mo. It's like it's good, but no IBIS. That hurts. You don't have any options to vlog with now. You're 10 to 24. That's heavier than the camera. And its IBIS is shit because you didn't update it. You made a Mark II and it's worse in every way. I haven't tested it. It's probably not. Can we get tone if I stop it down? I stopped it. Am I in focus? You can't even tell where you are. So disorientating. That's not a word. So the X-E4 bores children at Christmas time, and I'm not standing for that. So let's move along. Now we're on the Per Gear 12mm Tony 2. Lucky for us. So the GFX 100S. The smallest and lightest medium voice, so cheap, so affordable. It's still really heavy and really expensive. It's funny, it's cheaper than the Sony A1. That's weird. So they are bringing it down, but not really, because Sony brought it up to meet, like, we can be as expensive as medium format too. Like, Sony's much faster, has more features, but I have a feeling any picture side by side, you're gonna be like, damn, that Fuji, wow. Even the video, it's like, wow, I want one. I do want it. If anybody has one that they're not using right now and want to give it away forever and it's dented, you know where to send. In my estimation, we are exactly 3 years away from getting a vlogging-centric Fuji GFX camera. 3 years, January 27th, 2024. It'll come. It'll be $5,400 Canadian. We just saved us like $1,500 by switching the currency. But think of this, if you're gonna start a YouTube channel, you should probably invest in high-end gear right away, even though you don't know if you like doing it or if you're even capable of it. Just put all that money in there. It's a good investment. So Fuji GFX medium format, that's your choice. That's your choice, I stick by it. It's a little heavy. 1745 grams for this new light medium format camera, plus their only wide lens, the 23mm Tony 4, which is an 18mm Tony whatever. Nobody cares. Stupid 0.79 crop factor. Every lens you ever buy, you have to divide now by points. How? It's like, oh, what's that? Oh, where's my calculator? It's in your smartphone that the X-E4 will never be. Yeah, that's right. I went there. Compared to the Canon R5 with the 15mm to 30, I'm retarded. That's 1572 grams. It's lighter and way too heavy still. The R5 with that hunkin' lens, carrying that thing around, it's unusable. I just proved that vlogging with a Fuji medium format camera would be difficult. I'll leave. They also announced a new lens for the system, which I have signified by switching to the Viltrox. And do you see a theme here? It's all third-party shit, because Fuji doesn't care about us, about the YouTube hobo. There's nothing wide, there's nothing fast. We're on the Viltrox 33mm Tony 1.4 with the latest firmware, which means the autofocus is now perfect. I find it's pretty good. It's just sometimes it will struggle to acquire you. I acquire illegal things on the black market. So Fuji announces a medium format lens, a new portrait lens, 80mm, Tony 1.7, and through the powers of division, it's, I didn't write that down, 63mm, Tony 1.34. We're stepping closer to like a 0.95 range. This could be beautiful. They say it's the optimal portrait lens. Is it? I thought 85 was. You're not quite there. You forgot the crop factor on that one. You had to divide it. You didn't. Honestly though, anywhere from 50 to like 100. Some people like to compress even more, give you the elf ear look if you're trying to join a guild. But it's probably the best portrait lens we've ever seen in our life. Let's be real. It's an amazing looking lens. It's not expensive at all. It's super light. The whole system's light. I want one. Imagine this video right now in that lens. So I'm not going to trash the lens. Obviously, it's the greatest lens ever made. I want it. If I had the GFX 100S here right now, I'd buy the 23mm because it's a wide angle and that one. And I would be like, why did I buy that? Oh God. And then we'd appreciate the glory of my living room. And I'd go out of business. In 2024, when the GFX 50V is released, vlogger version with the flippy screen, I'm in. I'm in on that system. That sounded bad. Now Fuji's biggest mistake, the 27mm 2.8. Hear me out, I'll tell you the positives about what I think it could be and why they shouldn't have ever made it. Did you see a difference? We changed lenses, it was so swift. We're on the Mitacon, 33mm, don't quote me on that, 0.095, at that, and I'm in. I punched it in, right here, this eye should be in, somewhat. It's magic, don't pretend it isn't. When I look up and down the Fuji lens lineup, there's many that they should remake. The 23mm 1.4, imagine that, a new one that could actually autofocus. That thing jumps and leaps to the next grade and bullies the kids below him the next year. That's a bad kid. Take a lunch break. dick. I don't remember people complaining much about the 27. Like, it's a tiny little pancake lens for people who are afraid to be seen in the light of day. And they're just like, they're holding their camera by the hip. It's like, oh, hope she didn't notice. Oh, she did. Oh, go. Here, do you want the camera? Don't hurt me. Photographers. I moved out of my focal plane briefly. All I can see on the screen right now is this much. We're punched in. I have no idea what's happening back there. All I know, it's magic, because there's less tone than you've ever seen. More tone. I missed it. Just as a little side note, I noticed, I watched a Tony Northrup video the other day. It looked good. It looked good. He's upped his game. He had the 35mm G Master on there with the Sony a7S III. Little bokeh balls back there. His orange face. Canon-like in its abilities. I was like, there, you've got it. You finally made it. I'm not distracted by the image. I'm not at a lake wishing I could see it. And there's not a bunch of pulsing. Good move, Tone. Good move. So the 27mm lens now adds an aperture ring. That's good. I love having that. I hate when I don't have it. Some of my lenses don't have an autofocus switch, the Zeiss. You piece of Zeiss shit. How am I gonna change to manual focus? I gotta go in the menus? I don't know how to do that. It's a Sony menu system. I get lost in there. It's like a forest. It's probably a great street photography lens because you need a certain amount in focus. To me, a Tony 2.8 on an APS-C is devastating. It's a Tony 4.2 and a 40mm, it's like, you're not gonna get much magic. But if you're just firing from the hip, shooting blanks, due to your potato chip diet, you'll get some stuff. You'll get the shot. It's probably a great lens for its intended purpose, which is not this. You're not going to get any magic. If I use that, if I switch to it right now, I'd be like, oh, it would suck. It would be worse. So I'm hoping Fuji comes out with a fast prime wide 10mm Tony 1.8, and then like update one of your 23mm, the 1.4 or the 33mm 1.4. I have the Viltrox equivalents, but I want Fuji lens magic color-wise. A turn of glass in there. Do that. In fact, just to illustrate a point, we're now on the Fuji 23mm Tony 2. Did the colors get better? Is it just, oh, that is a better image. I wish the background was blurrier though. Is that what's happening in your mind right now? Because it's happening in mine. What a fantastic, I think 35 might be my favorite focal length, which is what this is in full frame realness. You don't have to divide it by 0.79, you GFX piece of... That brings us to the final lens announcement, a 70-300, Tony 4 to 5.6. Could it be good for birds? It feels like it's not quite long enough. So what are you gonna get, a muskrat eating a dog? What do wildlife photographers even aim for? Oh, there's a rabbit. I saw a gopher once. I got it with my X3000. I ran up to him, he ran away. I needed that lens. You're a little late, Fuji. You're a little late. I just don't trust Fuji's autofocus. Like, their 16 to 80, easily the worst lens I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, like, I knew with my instinct that that would never be a buy lens. The focus was off. A Tony 4 is so unmagical that it was like hard to believe it was happening. And then when you zoom in, it goes haywire with the focus. Like, it's such a bad lens. Is this gonna have those same properties? I worry. I worry. It could. We don't know, because I wasn't sent one. I could have been getting squirrels from a distance here, throwing nuts far off, and then, oh, look at that. Nobody would have cared. So who knows if the lens is good enough? Admittedly, my strategy of reviewing a lens before I get it in my hands is not the most accurate method. So it could be good, but it's just not something that exciting to me. The longer focal lengths never really do it to me. I used to have the bridge cam, we gave it away. That guy better be shooting with it. You better be using that thing. How's the autofocus system? Wow. Don't go to the background first. I swear to God if you do it. You better not have. But this is what I was saying when Fuji's gonna have a bad year, not financially, not photography based. They're gonna have a great year most likely. It's just nothing exciting for us scrubs. So hopefully something happens. Where's my nostalgia negative? Is that coming in here? Or is that, oh, just the new one? Sorry, we don't know how to put it. What is it? Ones and zeros? Is that how we... You put it in here. And put more LUTs on your log shit. All we have is Fuji log to Eterna. I want classic neg. I want all of them. Log to that. It's English. So good job, Fuji. You did it. You disappointed me, but you stuck to your roots. You made a photography-based system, and some people like it. Not many. It's not very high ranking. Canon, Sony, Nikon. You might be beating Panasonic and out of business Olympus. Not in a lot of countries, but we're on the Viltrox 56mm 1.4. Did it fix the autofocus woes of our life? Because this one was a struggle. That hurt. I tried it outside. It would barely acquire you. Seems like it's working better. Fuji, you got potential. I'm waiting on that wide prime and my GFX 50. I don't need 100 megapixels. That ain't teenage girl like skin. Don't look too close here. Look but don't touch. I'm gonna leave after you buy a Camera Conspiracies t-shirt. Which Fuji products are you looking forward to? Tell me what they should make. Cameras or lenses. And I'll delete your comment. Subscribe for more videos. See you later.